Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So today we are starting a new series and it's going to be called MCOC Basics. And why these new series and why the basics is just because recently I have had to try and look up certain basic things about MCOC and how some basic interactions work and what do some specific buffs do exactly. And quite often I kind of find myself struggling to find exact information. And now, first and foremost, the disclaimer here, anything I say in these videos might be inaccurate. This is going to be kind of like my best representation of how I understand these things to work. I will 100% make some mistakes along the way. They might be minor, they might be major. If there are any mistakes, please do feel free to correct me, because obviously I do not know everything, but nonetheless, so let's get into the video. So today we're going to talk about Fury buffs, and first things first, there are different types of buffs. There are active and passive buffs, and in today's video we're going to be looking at active Fury buffs and what do they exactly do and how do they correlate with your actual damage output. The champion we're going to be using as an example here will be Phoenix, just because she organically naturally increases the number of buffs, so we can kind of check that interaction over there. And first thing that I do have to explain is how Fury kind of works and what does it do. So we're going to start with the fact that Phoenix has 2137 attack currently. If you hit on her stats, her base attack is 2098 at rank 5 as a 5-star, plus my mastery setup currently is giving her 39 attack. So her current attack is 2137, which is important not to mix two things up. There is champion's original attack and then there is champion's current attack, which is kind of like with your masteries, boosts, synergies, furies, and whatever else you might have had active in a fight. So currently she is at 2137 attack. If we check in her description is saying that Fury buffs increase attack by 283.23, so 283 basically. So let's write that down. So her base attack is 2137. Fury increase is 283. Fury strength. Now, if you do the base math I just did before this video, each Fury is approximately 13% attack bonus that is it's giving to Phoenix. So it is very kind of important to know that the Fury strength is about 13%. Why is it important? Is because when you are hitting your opponent, you do not actually deal kind of your base attack damage, let's say on your non-crit lights or anything like that. No, your base attack number basically goes through a complex calculation that involves opponent's physical resistance, armor, and what else have you, right? And then at the end of that calculation you come up with a number, what is like your base damage output that you deal. In each matchup it is going to be different because each champion has different armor, different physical resistance, different crit resistance, so on and so forth. So whenever you use one champion, you can see different damage output against every single different champion in the game, also depending on nodes, so on and so forth. But after that you will see a number that pops out, which is like your base damage line. And what Fury does is it increases your base damage line by the strength of the Fury in percentage wise. So for instance, we're going to go through a few examples in a fight against Winter Soldier. We're going to check some numbers and then I'm going to carry on explaining. So we have Phoenix with no synergies, and what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be hitting Winter Soldier. We're going to be trying to get a non-crit light attack on each of these kind of Furies, and then we can measure and check what exactly changed. So here you can see that non-crit light attack hit for 430. So we're going to go up there, and that is going to be our base. 0 Furies, non-crit light attack, 430 damage. DMG, right? Yes. So now we're gonna get back into the fight and wait till we get one Fury buff and check how hard we hit with one Fury buff. So let him throw that heavy. So we have one Fury buff and we're hitting for 487, as we can see on this screen. So one Fury hits for 487 damage. Let's just go up to 4 Furies for the sake of it. So let's get back in there. Wait till we get to 2 Furies. Perfect. And now non-crit 544 it was. It's okay, we can get hit in the face in this video. So we have 544 damage. And then, yeah, we're gonna check how these numbers correspond and what exactly changed in our damage output and what was the difference in particular. So we are at 2 Furies currently, 3 Furies, perfect. Uh-oh, we messed up. We might miss 3. Okay, so it's 601. It was 601 and now we catch the 4 Furies as well at the same time, 658. So we have 601. And where's 4 Furies? 601 damage. And the last one with 4 Furies, for instance, is going to be 658. So we can see that the growth here is steady from 430 to 487. So we increased our damage output by, let's type it here, 487 minus 430, that would be 57 increase, right? 57 damage increase. And the next one, this is a bit odd. I'm just gonna 57 damage plus. Let's leave it like that. And now we can move on to the next one. 1 second, I just need to play with the window here. Yes. So we add another one. How much did our damage increase here? Just 1 second, this is getting a bit too much for me in the evening. But yeah, 544 minus 487 is going to be 57 again. Wanted, yes, it should be anyways, but I just want to double check that I don't lie to you guys on accident. So 544 minus 487 is 57 increase again. 57 damage plus. And then it's going to be again 57 to 601. So you see that each Fury increased our damage by 57. And here again by 57. It all adds up kind of linear. So what does that mean? That means that each Fury buff is based on your your base attack. It does not reapply the effects of like your current attack. So in this case, you're always going to draw 13% from your base damage. Now, what we also want to check whether 57 is in fact 13%, because that is the potency of the Furies that was advertised. So in this case, we need to basically divide 57 by 430, which is our base damage. And we can see that it is once again 13%. So everything there matches, and so far, like whatever I have been saying has been accurate. Each Fury has been increasing our damage by 57, which is 13% of our base damage, which was 430. So each other Fury is going to add another 13%. So let's say in theory, if we would get to, what would that be, 7 Furies? 13 times 7 would be 91. Let's say 8 Furies would increase our damage by 100 something percent of our base entry level damage, and we would be hitting for close to 900 on our non-crit light attacks. And that is more or less how the Fury buffs work. They do scale with attack modifiers such as masteries, which we can also check out right now. I'm not going to do calculations for the rest of them, but I'm just going to show exactly how it works. I'm going to put on a small 10% boost, and we're going to see if our numbers kind of change accordingly and whether the same damage increase changes accordingly. So if I'm going to put on 10% champion boost, we can waste one, why not? And now we're going to go back in and check what we're going to see there. So I just need to quickly re-enter the quest. And let's take a look at what is going to happen. So we have 10% boost active at this point, so our entry attack kind of raised. Now we're going to be hitting our non-crits for 472. Before it was 430, so we're hitting for 4200. 1 Fury 529. So 472, right? And what was the last one? Ah, geez, I forgot. 472 regardless. So 472 was our base hit. We're still on 1 Fury. So let's try and catch it again. We're gonna go with 2 Furies. So now we're hitting for 586 on 2 Furies. So we're gonna see that the number of 544, which was before 2 Furies, has been replaced by 586. Let's just check if that is an exact 10% increase there. So 546, sorry, I'm gonna go with 576. 544 divided by 576 is almost to scale exactly the damage increase that we would expect from this boost. So that is how Fury effects work. That is what they do for you. They do increase your damage. They do calculate from your entry-level damage. They do not reapply the calculation based on your kind of already existing Fury, so they move up linearly, not kind of like exponentially. And that is a damage increase buff. It also affects your critical damage, and the hits, your critical hits obviously will hit harder, so on and so forth. I do hope I, with all my mumbling, somehow helped you understand what Fury buffs do and exactly how they work a little bit better, as well as how your damage is basically being calculated and how it carries through when you are fighting an opponent. Do let me know what I could have done better. I will try to make these videos kind of like as clear as possible. And yeah, do let me know which kind of buffs or game mechanics you would like me to try and attempt explain to you next. And yeah, see you guys later.